Hello everyone, good to see you all. Hope you've had a lovely Easter and I hope you've still got some Easter eggs left and you haven't eaten them all. Now I was thinking, I love the shiny foil and everything that's on the outside. So our craft today needs some shiny foil. Now obviously being me, I haven't had that many Easter eggs, but I have been eating a few things over the Easter break that I shouldn't have been, like these and crisps and things. And it's really, really easy. We're going to draw a fish first. So if you've got a piece of paper, you just, I don't know, have a bit of a tail like this and then sort of make the tail come in that way. There we are, there's our tail. Now I'm not very good at drawing the other way, so I'm just going to do one swing round there, spin it round and do another one there. Now that's good enough for my fish. I think I'm going to give him an eye and a mouth and a smiley face. So there's my fish. I'll put him your way so you can see him. Now, if you take some of the shiny foil, just find a bit, any old bit, just cut off a bit. You could even have writing on it. I don't suppose it would matter. But you just want to cut out some shapes that will look a little bit like scales to stick onto your fish. I think the brighter the better, seriously. Now, I've done some before because you don't want to be bored watching me. So lots and lots of glue and then just have fun sticking down your scales. Now you might want to be really, really clever and you might want to do it from one end so that they overlap the right way. But there you are, you get the idea. I even found some green and I found some pink from other sweets. I even had a little bit of this kind of thing. Can you see how it's going to be just so pretty by the time you've finished? And you can cover yours completely. Now I'm not going to finish it now, but I will put a picture of the finished one in the comments below this post. So just have a bit of fun. Make your fish as colourful as you can and just have a little bit of fun making your fish. Now I'm going to put those things to one side because you don't need them anymore. Certainly don't need all these crisp packets, so they're going on the floor to be tidied up. Because today's story involves Jesus and his disciple friends. Now I want to introduce you to Peter. Now I want you to imagine that this is Peter. Now Peter was one of Jesus's very, very good friends. But sadly, just before Jesus died, Peter did something that he was really sad about. You see, he pretended he didn't even know Jesus. When somebody asked him if he knew Jesus, he said, "No, I don't." And he lied. He told a lie. And not just one, it was 3. And he was feeling really, really sad. Because you know the Easter story. I hope you watched last week's with our little eggs. You see, Peter actually saw that Jesus had come back to life. But he still wasn't quite sure. I think that sadness inside him was because he hadn't been able to say sorry to Jesus. So one day after Jesus was still back on earth, but he hadn't seen Peter or the other disciples for a long time, Peter decided that he wanted to go out fishing. Peter's job was to be a fisherman, so that was where he was best happy. So he gathered together some of his friends and he set off in a boat on the shore. Now here's my little boat. It's wonderful what you can find around the house, isn't it? And there were actually only about 7 friends there. And they went out late at night fishing. And they were fishing all night long. Oh, they were so tired. But every time they pulled the nets in, there was nothing in the nets at all night. The sun was just coming up and they saw the shore. And they saw this man on the beach and he shouted, "Hey, have you caught anything? How are you?" And they shouted back, "No, we've been fishing all night and we haven't caught a single thing. Oh." And the man on the beach said, "Put your nets over the other side and have a go." So they did that. They took the nets and somebody very carefully moved the boat around just a little bit. Oops, and we fell in the water. No, we didn't actually really. And they put the nets the other side. Oops, get them all back in. And this time, when they put the nets in, they pulled out the hugest catfish catch of fish you have ever seen. In fact, somebody counted them, 153 in all. Peter looked up. Now, where's Peter? He looked up and he thought, wait a minute, I recognise that person. So he jumped out of the boat and he left all his friends to actually sort out all the fish and bring them in. But Jesus had already caught some fish. He had a fire going on the beach. He had some fish cooking all ready for them. And he said, come, have some breakfast with me. And so the disciples pulled in their large net and they gathered that in, and then they all got out of their boat and they came and had some lovely, lovely breakfast. Whoops. Now, Jesus had a little bit of time and he wanted to talk to Peter on his own. So he left the others all around the fire watching the fish. And Jesus took Peter over to one side. We've got them all up, but there we are. And he took them to one side. I wonder if you can see. There we are. There he is. Can you see? And he started to talk to Peter. And he said, Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, yes, you know I love you. And Jesus said, good. Go and look after my people. He actually said, feed my lambs. And sometimes the Bible refers to us people as sheep and lambs. And then he asked Peter again a second time, Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, yes, you know I love you. And Jesus replied the same. And then he asked a third time, Peter, do you love me? And Peter probably was getting a bit fed up at this point because it was the third time he'd asked the same question. Said, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And Jesus said, go and feed my sheep. Tell my people all about me. And you know, that's what Peter did. Peter became the most amazing person. Later on, we read in the Bible, he talked to so many people about Jesus. And I think that Jesus asked that question 3 times, just so that Peter could say 3 times that he loved Jesus. And Jesus was able in that conversation with Peter to just say, do you know, I forgive you. It's okay. It doesn't matter what you've done. It's all right. I love you. And Jesus says that to all of us today. If there's things we've done wrong, we can just say to Jesus, do you know, Jesus, I'm really sorry for the things I've done wrong, for the things I've said wrong and the things I've thought wrong. I am really sorry. Do you forgive me? And Jesus always says, yes, I forgive you. Now, if you've got your Bibles at home, you can have a look at this story. It's on page 462. And here it is. And it says, a net full of fish. So, remember, when you've done something wrong, ever so easy, just say, I'm sorry. And everything will be fine. Have a go at making your fish. Now, I'm going to finish this one now and put a picture in the comments below. But do have a lot of fun this week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.